The holidays are usually a jolly time of the year, a time to gather and celebrate with family and friends. But for some people, Christmas can also be quite painful, particularly for those who have lost loved ones around the festive season. And of the considerable lives lost on December 25 throughout modern history, you can count celebrities among those lost in tragic deaths. In this video, we will share the stars who perished on Christmas Day. Number 1. James Brown. James Brown went down in music history as the godfather of soul. His fiery performances and unique style made him a star with a career spanning over 50 years. The iconic singer passed away on Christmas Day in 2006. Brown was 73 when he died of a heart attack and fluid in his lungs in a hospital in Atlanta. But some details about his death just don't add up, according to some people. Marvin Crawford, the doctor who signed the singer's death certificate, doesn't believe Brown died of natural causes, and the singer's lifelong friend Andra White believes Brown was actually murdered. No autopsy was performed, so the mystery remains unsolved. Number 2. Charlie Chaplin. The late Charlie Chaplin is one of the most famous actors and filmmakers to ever come out of Britain. He eventually moved to the US and became a silent film star. Charlie Chaplin became predominantly known for his character, the Tramp. Later in his life, the actor moved to Switzerland, where on December 25, 1977, he died peacefully in his sleep during the night, said his widow, Una O'Neill. Chaplin was 88. Chaplin's health had deteriorated in the last few years prior to his death. He needed a wheelchair and carried an oxygen tank. Chaplin was also reportedly losing his hearing and sight, and struggled to speak at times. The film legend eventually suffered a stroke and died in his sleep. Number 3. George Michael. George Michael catapulted into stardom with the duo Wham! In the 80s. He then embarked on a highly successful solo career. It is somewhat ironic that the man who sang Last Christmas died on Christmas Day. George Michael passed away in December 2016 of dilated cardiomyopathy with myocarditis and fatty liver. It is believed that the singer spent his last day alone or with his housekeeper. Tragically, George Michael's sister, Melanie Panayiotou, also died on Christmas Day, exactly 3 years after her brother passed away. The holiday season must be an incredibly difficult time of the year for their family. Number 4. Dean Martin. A member of the Rat Pack, Dean Martin was nicknamed the King of Cool. His work with comedian Jerry Lewis turned him into a superstar. Martin, too, died on Christmas Day. He was 78 when he left us in 1995. Dean Martin had been battling numerous health issues, including kidney problems. A heavy smoker, it was acute respiratory failure resulting from emphysema and lung cancer that eventually killed Dean Martin. Number 5. Eartha Kitt. The dancer, singer, and actress was once called the most exciting woman in the world by famed director Orson Welles. Kitt was indeed a star. Eartha Kitt passed away at home on Christmas Day in 2008 after battling colon cancer. She was with her daughter Kit Shapiro when she died. But as peaceful as it sounds, according to Shapiro, her mother's death was anything but quiet. The doctor told us she will leave very quickly and her body will just start to shut down. But when she left the world with a bang. She left it how she lived it. She screamed her way out of here, literally. I truly believe her survival instincts were so part of her DNA that she was not going to go quietly or willingly, said her daughter. Number 6. Joan Miro. One of the most famous Spanish artists ever, Miro was a pioneer of modern art and a household name in the abstract and surrealist art movements. The Catalan artist had his fantastic works displayed in the world's top museums and galleries, and lived a long, fruitful life until he passed away, aged 90. Joan Miro died on December 25, 1983 from heart failure. supposedly caused by a myriad of health issues he was battling, including heart and lung ailments. He'd been admitted to the hospital just 2 weeks before he passed due to difficulties breathing. He returned home and eventually died. Number 7. Billy Martin. Billy Martin was a baseball second baseman and 5-time manager of the New York Yankees. Sadly, the Yankees icon tragically died in a car crash on Christmas Day in 1989. Billy Martin was 61. The fatal crash occurred when Martin and friend Bill Reedy were driving home from drinking at a bar. Reedy was said to be behind the wheel and was eventually convicted of driving over the limit. Number 8. Joan Blundell. Blundell was a quintessential Hollywood blonde bombshell. The actress had a career spanning half a century and was even nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. The actress died of leukemia on December 25, 1979, in Santa Monica, California. Joan Blundell was 70. Blundell reportedly had her children and sister at her bedside when she passed. Number 9. Nicolas Sosescu. The former president of Romania was the last communist leader of the country. He was in power for over 2 decades and is considered one of the most ruthless dictators in recent history. He was overthrown and executed by a firing squad during the Romanian Revolution in December 25, 1989. The execution of Nicolae and his wife, Elena, was shown on Romanian TV. Nicolas Sosescu was 71. Number 10. Emperor Tasho. Yoshihito, who later became known as Emperor Tasho, is one of the most important historical figures in Japan. He ruled the country from 1912 until 1926. Yoshihito died on Christmas Day, 1926, victim of a heart attack. Though earlier in December, it was announced that the emperor was suffering from pneumonia, and a source at the time also mentions uremic poisoning as the cause of death. Emperor Tasho was 47 years old when he passed away. He was loved by the Japanese people and continues to be a prominent historical figure. Number 11. Nancy Roman. Nancy Grace Roman was an American astronomer who made important contributions to stellar classification and motions. The first female executive at NASA, Roman served as NASA's first chief of astronomy throughout the 1960s and 1970s, establishing her as one of the visionary founders of the U.S. civilian space program. She created NASA's space astronomy program and is known to many as the Mother of Hubble for her foundational role in planning the Hubble Space Telescope. Throughout her career, Roman was also an active public speaker and educator, and an advocate for women in the sciences. Roman died on Christmas Day in 2018, aged 93, but not before living to see herself as a minifig in Lego's Women of NASA set.